Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I will be talking about the Great Snail Race and Midlife Crustacean. First, I'm going to talk about the Great Snail Race. Enjoy! As the episode begins, SpongeBob wakes up and sees Squidward getting a package in the mail. Squidward opens what ends up being a cage, which turns out to contain a female snail named Snail. He explains that Snail is a purebred of the highest pedigree and that she is going to be entered in the Bikini Bottom Snail race on Sunday, which he is sure Snail will win easily. Upon hearing this, SpongeBob takes offense to Squidward's insult to Gary and decides to enter his pet into the snail race to retaliate against Squidward. Patrick also decides to enter his pet Rock into the competition, which he names Rocky. With only one day to go until the big day, SpongeBob abusively trains Gary practically to the point of exhaustion, not even letting him take a break or sleep. On the day of the race, Gary is so exhausted from SpongeBob's abusive training that he is barely able to make it to the stadium. In fact, Gary's exhaustion is so great that he is initially unable to start in the race. During the race, his eyes inflate like balloons and explode, his shell breaks open like a car engine and he spins out of control, leaving skid marks. SpongeBob, seeing the error of his ways, tells Gary that he can stop, but Gary keeps on going, loses control of himself, hits the wall, and explodes completely as the firefighters use the extinguishers to turn off his fire. An upset SpongeBob runs up to him onto the track, which the announcer says is an automatic disqualification, and embraces him, crying and apologizing for his abuse. Snail, who is almost at the finish line, feels sorry for Gary and turns around to comfort him, and the two instantly fall in love. Squidward is shocked at this and walks onto the track. SpongeBob and Squidward then see that, to their surprise, Rocky has won the race. However, Patrick has the trophy engraved in Squidward's honor, knowing how much he wanted to win, and gives it to him. As part of a gag where Squidward's last name is mispronounced throughout the episode, Squidward's name is printed, Squidward Tortellini, to his dismay. The three laugh, until Sandy suddenly appears on screen and ends the episode by kicking SpongeBob for making a misogynistic comment the day before. Next, I'm going to talk about Midlife Crustacean. Enjoy! The episode starts with Mr. Krabs feeling old as he struggles to get out of his hammock bed. He goes into his kitchen to find that Pearl has made him breakfast. Pearl reminds him to take his pill and Mr. Krabs asks her if she thinks he is old. To his dismay, Pearl says she does, but she seems fine with her father being her old man. Later in the morning, he is walking along the street and again denies that he is old, but then discovers a Boy Scout fish helping him walk. When Mr. Krabs tries to walk off, his arm comes off into the Boy Scout's hands, and Mr. Krabs apologizes as he retrieves his arm. At the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs is feeling upset when he overhears Incidental 103 complaining that his Krabby Patty tastes funny. His mother, Incidental 48, tells him that it is all old and dried out, in an insulting comparison to Mr. Krabs. Patrick enters the Krusty Krab, and SpongeBob yells at him from the kitchen, asking if he is ready for the big night out, and Patrick yells back saying he is. After Squidward yells at them to keep it down, they continue the conversation in the kitchen, where Mr. Krabs eavesdrops on them from the door to his office. Mr. Krabs asks them if he could come with them on their night out, but Patrick thinks he might cramp their style, and he tests Mr. Krabs to see if he knows the secret cool guy handshake. It turns out he does, and Patrick says he is in. At 8:01 p.m., SpongeBob and Patrick arrive at Mr. Krabs' house as part of their fashionably late promise, ready for the big night out. They first go to the wash to watch their faces spin in the mirror reflection of a washing machine, but Mr. Krabs is not amused by this activity and wants to see more of the nightlife. The scene then changes to them doing many other bizarre activities in various settings such as at the highway, dentist, roof redoing, a game of Dungeons and Dragons in Old England, and library, none of which have yet succeeded in remotely amusing Mr. Krabs. Finally, they are at a children's arcade called Bunny Buns, and SpongeBob once again asks if Mr. Krabs is feeling it. Multiple kids at once ask him this over and over, which results in Mr. Krabs getting furious and berating the incidentals for embarrassing him. He then chastises SpongeBob and Patrick, calling them lame for taking him out on these bizarre occurrences that do not seem to live up to their promise of coolness. He then angrily decides to cancel the night and go home, but Patrick tries to change his mind by saying that he will miss out on the panty raid, an occurrence in which the trio will be invading a woman's house at night to steal her underpants. It is at this moment that Mr. Krabs reconsiders and has finally found a highlight of his night out, promising to take back his comments about SpongeBob and Patrick being lame if they succeed. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs arrive at a house and are successful in obtaining an unspecified woman's underwear. However, they are caught red-handed when the woman turns on the light and catches the boys in the middle of the act, revealing her to be Mr. Krabs' mother, something SpongeBob didn't tell him because he didn't ask. As a result, Mr. Krabs is grounded for the remainder of the night and sent to his room, being assisted by the Boy Scout from earlier. SpongeBob apologizes for what happened, but Mr. Krabs forgives him, as being in his old bedroom made him feel younger. The camera pans to show Mr. Krabs' room as a child. After SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs say goodnight and SpongeBob starts to head home, Betsy orders him to turn off the lights and Mr. Krabs says, "Yes, Mommy." He then turns off the lights, ending the episode. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.